Hi guys, welcome back to The Goods, and this week's movie review, Central Intelligence. Now, I have to say that when I saw the trailer for this film, I was not really excited to go see it. The premise that they set up kind of seemed like I had already watched that in previous buddy cop films, as well as it starred Kevin Hart, and I'm not really a big Kevin Hart fan. But wait. I know you guys are Kevin Hart fans. I am just not a Kevin Hart fan, so no angry comments or anything below. With that being said, the trailer actually showed me that The Rock was in it. That's enough to get my butt in the seat to go see this film. So, went and saw the film, and I can't wait to tell you guys what I thought about it. So, the cast of this film, just like I said before, it's going to be starring Kevin Hart as well as The Rock. But we're also going to get Amy Ryan. We're also going to get kind of a small cameo from, maybe a little bit more than a cameo, from Aaron Paul. So if you're a Breaking Bad fan like I am, it's actually good to see him on screen. It's always great to see him on screen because he's always funny when he's there. So the plot of this film is that we actually have The Rock's character being bullied throughout high school. And then we also have Kevin Hart's character who's at the same high school, who's more of the popular kid. They actually refer to him as the Golden Jet. And he's the one that's most likely to succeed. And actually, he's the only person throughout high school who does not make fun of The Rock's character. So then we look ahead about 20 years and we visit them again, and we look back at Kevin Hart's character, who now lives a life where he kind of feels unfulfilled. And then we look back at The Rock's character, who's made this massive transformation in body, maybe not so much in mind, but more in body, from where he was in high school. And their paths cross, and it kind of leads them on this whole crazy spy scenario. They explain it more, and I don't want to get into too much details because the trailers didn't really give it away, so I'm not going to give it away in this review as well. So, but that covers the plot. And as I do in all these reviews, we talk about the goods and the bads. So let's move on to the goods. The goods of this film is that I actually, like I said before, I'm not a Kevin Hart fan because I think his characters all kind of are the same in every film. So I think they tried to do something a little bit different. Instead of doing little angry black man that they normally do for Kevin Hart, they tried to make him a straight man, which actually I think that worked really well for him. And looking at other buddy cop movies, you always got to have the straight man, you got to have the comedic presence, you know, and if you're going to mix in action, they both got to have somewhere where you can kind of believe the action. So I actually believed it with Kevin Hart in the way that they set it up, but I like the fact that he wasn't making joke after joke after joke. He was kind of like, you're taking me out of my element, and I thought that was a good role, and it fit well in this film, and that was the reason why I was actually okay with what they gave me and Kevin Hart on screen. The other thing that I liked about this film is that seeing The Rock in more comedic roles. We're always used to The Rock being this force, this presence on screen, and that he can just kick butt when he's doing action. And seeing him have more jokes, being a little bit more jokey, was good. I thought it was fun. I hadn't seen something like that since maybe like The Rundown, but he was kind of more of a straight guy in that one. But it was more of a comedic film, or maybe when Get Shorty. So I mean, always a plus to see him do anything different from what he's done before. Like I said, I have a problem with Kevin Hart and him being typecast, and I don't want to see The Rock typecast as well. So the other thing that I liked about it is that I actually really got into the jokes. A lot of the times in these comedies, that some jokes hit, some don't. I think where as an action comedy you get distracted with some of the things that are going on the screen. I think they blend it well with the comedy to where when it's slowed down from the action, you know, having a big pop from a joke, I think it fit really well in what they were doing. So as always, I'm gonna stop right there with the goods, and we're gonna tell you what I didn't like about the film and the bads. So the bads of this film is that even though they did try to do straight man with Kevin Hart, it did kind of bleed into his character before. So not a big major thing. That's not a big major bad. But thinking about that in the film is that why is he always a sidekick? I'm kind of tired of seeing him as a sidekick in these films. When we look at Ride Along 2 and almost anything that he's in, he's always the sidekick of somebody else. Kevin Hart, do some supporting roles. Kevin Hart, star, man. You've made millions in Hollywood. You are a name. People will go see your films. Star in something. Be the only person. Stop being sidekicks to people. And that kind of lets me down because he was just a sidekick, and it was just, I didn't know it's buddy cop, but I think I'm just tired of seeing him in those particular roles. Other thing that I didn't like about this film is that when we look back at The Rock's character at the very beginning, when they first meet, the awkwardness that his character has, I'm not sure if he portrayed that well enough on screen that it or maybe that's how they wrote it, because it came across kind of creepy and it didn't seem like it fit The Rock. And maybe somebody else could have done it a little bit better, but when we got to who he was as a CIA agent, it fit him better, and it was just kind of disjarring between the two. He's one personality when he's a CIA agent, and another personality when he's just sitting there talking to Kevin Hart. So it felt disjointed in who his character was. Was that The Rock? I don't know. Was that the writing? I don't know. But I'm not sure if that part really meshed well, and it made me like, I didn't like him when he was just a regular person. I liked him more when he was a CIA agent, even though I was talking about changes with him. He still gave comedy as a CIA agent. I think the comedy was just kind of like goofy when he was just a regular person. So those are the things that I didn't like about the film. There wasn't much that I didn't like about the film. I would probably rank this film somewhere along like in my review of Keanu. It's one of those okay films. I mean, it wasn't bad. It wasn't just average. It was just an okay comedy. I'm still waiting for a comedy that's going to blow me away. This one didn't quite do it, but it was still good. It was still enjoyable. I will say that it does kind of remind you a little bit of 21 Jump Street, and that's why I can't say this was a great film, because it does remind me of that, like I said in the premise from the trailers. But 21 Jump Street did it better. This film was serving something, trying to set up some of the story. Looks like they're going to try to do sequels with this, but when you get to the end, you'll understand what I'm talking about. So it looks like they're going to try to do sequels with this film. So should you see it? Yeah, I mean, if you're a Kevin Hart fan, and once again, I know, go out and see this Kevin Hart movie. If you're a Rock fan, that's what got me to go see it, so definitely go see it because of that. If you like buddy cop films, I mean, it was a good buddy cop film. I mean, it wasn't the best, but it was a good buddy cop film. So that's the reason why you should see it. I will tell you guys this. It's rated PG-13. So my kids asked me to go see it. I took them to go see this film, and it walked that borderline of PG-13. I was like, maybe I misread the ratings on this, and maybe this is rated R, because if there was a list of things that they could say they still keep it PG-13, they said them all. If there was themes that they could keep it PG-13, they did them all. So just caution on that. So that's going to be my review on this film. As always, make sure you guys like and comment below. Tell me what you guys thought about the film. If you had a chance to see it, if you liked it, if you didn't like it, if you're going to go see it, just let me know after you see it. Heck. And always subscribe so that way you know when all these things come out. We try to do a movie review every week, but we also do other videos, and if you subscribe, you'll get a notification and know when those come out as well. So that's all I got, guys. Take it there.